Welcome back to Movies on the Brain, where we dive into films that bring love, laughter, and a bit of chaos. I'm Jason, and today we're reviewing the 90s rom-com classic Fools Rush In. Directed by Andy Tennant, Fools Rush In is a charming romantic comedy that expresses love, culture clashes, and unexpected surprises. Starring Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek, this film follows a whirlwind romance that defies all expectations and shows us what happens when opposites truly attract. In Fools Rush In, we see love bloom in the unlikeliest of places, packed with humor, heart, and plenty of twists. Let's jump into this feel-good movie and explore why it's still a fan favorite of rom-com lovers everywhere. Fools Rush In opened in theaters on February 14th, 1997, with a budget of $20 million. During its 6-week theatrical run, it earned a total of $29.5 million domestically and $13 million internationally, making a worldwide total of $42 million. Its domestic opening weekend saw it earn $8.5 million, finishing in the box office at number 3, only behind Absolute Power and the 1997 special edition of Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, numbers 2 and 1 respectively, with Absolute Power also opening the same weekend. Its final week in theaters saw it earn $1 million, finishing its box office run at number 19. Alex Whitman, a New York City project manager, is sent to Las Vegas to supervise construction of a nightclub that his firm has been hired to build. He is a straight-laced, waspish, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant type when he meets Isabel Fuentes, a free-spirited Mexican-American photographer. Alex and Isabel are immediately attracted to each other and spend the night together. In the morning, Isabel quietly slips away while Alex is still asleep. 3 months later, Isabel finds Alex to tell him she is pregnant with his child. He has decided to keep and raise the child alone, although it will disappoint her family. Isabel asks Alex to a family dinner so they can meet her baby's father at least once. He agrees, and despite some cultural differences, he finds himself more attracted to Isabel. Though Isabel is prepared to say goodbye, Alex suggests they pursue a relationship. Alex proposes and they quickly marry at a Las Vegas wedding chapel, with an Elvis impersonator serving as a witness. However, they gradually both wonder if they belong together, especially as Alex struggles to balance his New York-based career with Isabel's desire to stay in Nevada near her family. In early June, when Alex is at his company's head office, his boss tells him to return on July 1st for a new project and promotion. He secretly agrees with it, although he had promised Isabel they would not go until after the baby was born in October. The newlyweds fight when Isabel finds out why Alex has been so busy and distant. Isabel suffers from a medical complication. While in the hospital, she lets Alex believe she lost the baby, so they are not meant to be together. Distraught, Alex returns to New York while Isabel, who is still pregnant, goes to Mexico to stay with her great-grandmother. After being served with the divorce papers, he sees several signs, such as a priest telling him to watch carefully for guidance, almost tripping over a chihuahua, taking a photo of the Grand Canyon, and finally a young Hispanic girl named Isabel cannot keep her eyes off of him. Alex realizes he loves Isabel and wants her more than his career. Alex travels to rural Mexico to find Isabel, unaware she is still pregnant. Her great-grandmother, who only speaks Spanish, reveals that Isabel loves Alex and is driving to Las Vegas to have her baby, which she only understood as she has returned to Las Vegas. He intercepts her at the Hoover Dam and says that he loves her. Then realizes she is still pregnant. Isabel suddenly goes into labor and gives birth to a daughter, which coincides with their divorce being finalized. Soon after, they remarry with both families present, atop a cliff overlooking the Grand Canyon. Now let's look at the cast and some of the other roles they've had. Matthew Perry as Alex Whitman. Before his passing in October of 2023, Other roles for Matthew Perry include Chandler Bing in the TV show Friends, Joe Tyler in Serving Sarah, and Benny in the Fallout New Vegas video game. Salma Hayek as Isabel Fuentes Whitman. Other roles for Salma Hayek include Rita Escobar in Wild Wild West, Katie Softpaws in Puss in Boots, and Teresa in Sausage Party. John Tenney as Jeff. Other roles for John Tenney include Fritz Howard in the TV show The Closer, Martin Jordan in Green Lantern, and Howard Anderson in Legion. Carlos Gomez as Chewie. Other roles for Carlos Gomez include Carlos Sanchez in the TV show The Glades, Jimbo Coyle in Rumble, and Jose Campos in the TV show Madam Secretary. Tomas Milian as Tomas Fuentes. Before his passing in March of 2017, other roles for Tomas Milian include General Earl Salazar in Traffic, Calderon in Amistad, and Eddie in Washington Heights. Siobhan Fallon as Lainey. Other roles for Siobhan Fallon include Mitzi in Going in Style, Edith Zuckerman in 2006's Charlotte's Web, and Stanley's mother in Holes. John Bennett Perry as Richard Whitman. Other roles for John Bennett Perry include Arthur Stanhope in George of the Jungle, Frank Arnett in the TV show Fair America, and Evan Price in Loaded. Stanley DeSantis as Judd Marshall. Before his passing in August 2005, other roles for Stanley DeSantis include Robert in I Am Sam, Luis B. Mayer in The Aviator, and Jack Pino in Something New, which was his final film role. Anne Betancourt as Amelia Fuentes. Other roles for Anne Betancourt include Estela Munoz in the TV show The Young and the Restless, Sharon Lopez in Rendition, and Nurse Sally in Mission Impossible 3. Suzanne Snyder as Kathy Stewart. Other roles for Suzanne Snyder include Andrea in Femme Fatale, Heather Jones in Malevolence, and Debbie Stone in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Jill Clayburgh as Nan Whitman. Before her passing in November of 2010, other roles for Jill Clayburgh included Agnes Finch in Running with Scissors, Eileen McAllister in the TV show Trinity, and Annie's mom in Bridesmaids, which was her film final role. Before I get started in my review proper, I just have to say, based on any of these 90s films that are based in New York, or in the case of this film, it starts off in New York, I do not want to be in New York during Christmas time. Way too many people for me. I really love the contrast of when we first get introduced to Alex and Isabel, the hustle and bustle of New York for Alex, and the calm serenity of Mexico for Isabel. I do love that when we first see Isabel, he asks the boys that were following her how they can love someone they just met, which that exact line comes back into play later on. I love every time they show us what both Isabel and Alex are do prior to the meeting. I love it every time. We get their first meeting at a Mexican restaurant, which I really enjoy, instead of it being at a bar or airport or something else that is kind of overplayed. First interaction between Alex and Isabel is fantastic because of the chemistry between Matthew Perry and Salma Hayek, which is fantastic. Honestly, the scene with Isabel leaving after having a one night stand with Alex is comical because of the facial expressions Salma Hayek has. First time I saw this movie, couldn't stand Kathy Stewart, still don't like her, and that's to the credit of how Suzanne Snyder plays her. Makes you not like her at all. Yeah, I get that they're the same, played by the same actor. I really do get vibes of Chandler from Friends and Alex, but it's just funny that he brought traits from Friends to this, and it honestly really works so well. I don't know why, but the way Alex is drinking the water when Isabel tells him that she's pregnant with his child is really funny to me. Hostility from Isabel is funny, especially when coupled with the ignorance of Alex, thinking she's going to dump off the Hoover Dam. The entire part of Alex meeting Isabel's family for the first time is so hilarious, but it's also pretty sweet because of how hard Alex is trying to impress her and her family, while dealing with her ex, Chewie. Alex is so quick on his feet when it comes to him and Isabel's mom talking about Isabel's photography. I love that you can see the exact moment when Isabel falls for Alex when he's holding the baby, and when Alex falls for Isabel when she tells him that she won't let her family hate him. "You are everything I never knew I always wanted" is honestly such a fantastic line, and I love the way Matthew Perry delivers it with that chuckle to break it up. It was really great. There's so many great scenes that are awkward in this, in particular the scene where Isabel's brother and Chewie takes Alex out shooting, when Kathy first meets Isabel, when Alex's parent drop by after Kathy meets Isabel. Isabel's and Alex's dads agreeing that they don't think Isabel and Alex know what they're getting into, while their moms see it as romantic, is a great way to find common ground between the two families. The fight outside the club between Alex and Isabel is so powerful. You really feel bad for Isabel because she isn't included in any of the conversations Alex has. The conversation between Isabel and her great grandmother, even with reading the subtitles, is such a beautiful scene. When Alex starts seeing signs that point him to Isabel, and when he, his parents, and Kathy and her parents are boarding the helicopter, camera panning over to Alex's mom is so great because you just assume she knows why he isn't going with them. The entire montage of Alex going to Mexico, only for Isabel to be on her way to Las Vegas, is such a great story, ending it with Isabel giving birth on the Hoover Dam. Honestly, this is really such a great movie, probably my favorite rom-com ever. A lot of it is due to the chemistry between Salma Hayek and Matthew Perry. The role of Alex's father is played by John Bennett Perry, who is Matthew Perry's real life father. Before the movie was filmed, there was no Nevada Arizona border painted on the highway that spans the Hoover Dam. When it was added for the film, local officials decided to keep it intact after the filming of the movie. As of September 2005, the border painted in the street is no longer there. Matthew Perry credits the jet ski accident on the set of this film for fueling his addiction to prescription drugs. This was Matthew Perry's favorite of all the films in which he starred. Jennifer Lopez was offered the role of Isabel Fuentes, but turned it down in favor of Anaconda. The Elvis impersonator in Early Wedding Scene, Eddie Powers, works in Vegas as an Elvis impersonator and does gigs at such chapels as the Silver Bell Wedding Chapel. The house used for filming Alex's temporary home while in Las Vegas is at 6679 Merced Lake Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, in North Las Vegas. Since the movie has been repainted white. Braised Papaya is a hot dog restaurant on 2090 Broadway, 72nd Street in Uptown New York City. This movie was shot on the filming break between the second and third seasons of Friends. This movie was released to theaters during the third season of Friends the week that the 15th episode aired, the one where Ross and Rachel take a break. This movie is based on the relationship and marriage of Doug Drazen and Anna Marie Davis, who served as the movie's co-producers. And that's it for my review of Fools Rush In. This movie brings a perfect mix of romance, comedy, and cultural charm, capturing the ups and downs of a love story that feels both chaotic and heartfelt. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like and subscribe to Movies on the Brain for more deep dives into rom-com favorites and cinematic classics. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Fools Rush In. Does it still hold up as one of your favorites like it does mine? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, sometimes Sometimes love shows up when you least expect it.